Radio Texas Live Legends with Buddy Logan.
In football, you got John Madden, baseball, Vince Scully, and hockey, the great Doc Emmerich. These are voices you would stop doing whatever it is you need to do and listen, even if you didn't care about the game that was happening. In Red Dirt, that's Cody Canada. Towards the end of this interview from May 2014, Cody and I talk about one song that would best define and describe Red Dirt music, and he's humbled to hear that my team here at Radio Texas Live came up with Cross Canadian Ragweed 17. He's humbled, but he didn't disagree, and really, how can you? Would you believe if I told you that track is over 20 years old? But man, it still hits so hard. 2 decades later. Cody, of course, was the heartbeat of Cross Canadian Ragweed until 2010 when he and Jeremy Plato pivoted to form The Departed with Seth James and company. This interview took place just after Seth James had left The Departed, and Cody had some pretty candid thoughts on why it happened. And it goes beyond the trite grew apart kind of explanations you so often hear. I'm Buddy Logan, host of Radio Texas Live, and it was guys like Pat Green, Charlie Robinson, Jason Boland, and yes, Cody and Cross Canadian Ragweed who are a big part of my introduction into Texas music. I bought Ragweed's Soul Gravy album in Baghdad, Iraq, while I was deployed there in 2004, and I got to share that story with him in this interview. And his response is unique, but it's also indicative for what it's like to be an independent band hustling every step of the way. While Cross Canadian Ragweed were a regional phenomenon and not everyone even knew they existed, Cody and the boys were rock stars in every bit of the word. They sold over 1 million albums, and that was back when people still bought physical albums, and Ragweed did it mostly independently. For 10 years, they defined Texas and Red Dirt and still influence artists today. I'm looking at you, Co. But despite this, and despite his reputation of being every bit of that rock star diva, the first time I met Cody, he was gracious. He was humble, polite, kind. He may have looked like he'd punch you in the face, but as soon as he started talking, all that kind of melted away. Cody Canada was and is a fine human being and a rock star. But it's strange how once you reach that level of success that he has, it can get hard interacting with people at times. I still recall standing by dumbfounded while a fan argued with Cody about the ages of his own sons. I was like, what? Another time, Cody stopped by my show not long before my daughter was born, and I asked him for advice. He told me to tell her you love her. He said, my dad used to tell us he loved us like 5 times every day on the drive to school. Cody Canada is a rock star, but I'll tell you this right now, I don't listen to Fightin' For or Alabama every day, but I do think about Cody Canada telling me to tell my daughters I love them every single day. And I'd estimate they've gotten about 45 to 55% more I love yous because of it. And I'm a better dad for it. This is a pretty wide-ranging interview. The Departed were kind of in between albums at the time, but had what would become hippie love punk finished, so we talked about that, plus how and why Ragweed's music still resonates before we got into newcomers like American Aquarium, who aren't from Texas, but are very, very good. A quick reminder to tap follow and share this podcast with a Texas Red Dirt loving friend or family member, and then give us a 5-star review on Apple if you like what you're hearing. To hear some of the best in Texas and Red Dirt, you got to download my life-changing mobile app, Radio Texas Live, and stream the best of it 24/7. You can also continue this conversation at Buddy Logan on Instagram or Twitter and share your favorite memory from a time before Cody Canada was a Radio Texas Live legend.
Radio Texas Live Legends with Buddy Logan.
Cody Canada here. Cody, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Always great to have you by.
Good to be here, man.
I got to tell you this, and I may have told you this before, and I can't remember if I did or not. Back when I was in the Army, I was stationed in Germany. I was doing some time in Iraq. I went to this little tiny PX in Baghdad, and Soul Gravy was there for sale. I bought it, and it was like a little piece of home for me.
Awesome.
That was like just the fact that, and this was what, probably 2004 or so?
Yeah.
And Cross Canadian Ragweed's Soul Gravy was right there. I was like, dude, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome. I remember sending boxes of that stuff over there.
Send it over there to like the troops?
Yep.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Great album. I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if I ever told you that before.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Yeah. Well, I bought your album in Baghdad, Iraq.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're going to be hanging out here for a little bit. We're going to talk about your brand new album. We're going to talk about your upcoming album. We're going to talk about your huge year at the Lone Star Music Awards. And you're going to sing a couple songs for us?
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Cody Canada from The Departed hanging out tonight on Radio Texas Live. Cody, thanks again, man, for stopping by.
You bet.
The Departed, you guys have been together for what, about 4 years now? Is it going on 5?
Yeah, this October will be 4 years.
Seth James was in the band. He left about maybe 6 or 7 months ago?
Yeah, he left back in end of November.
See, and for me, and this is something I'd said since the very beginning, since the two of you teamed up, no band is big enough for both of you. That would be like George Clooney and Brad Pitt doing every movie they ever did together. Every movie they ever did, doing it together.
You know, I mean, that's really kind of what it was. You know, he wanted to go do what he does, and I needed to do what I do. You know, and it was really fun for the 3 years that it happened. But he's a blues man. And he's a really good one.
He's awesome. Great voice.
Yeah, and we were splitting it, and there's always personal stuff, you know, when it comes to writing songs, and where you don't want to get involved, you know.
Right.
You know, Seth, like, he wrote Prayer for the Lonely about the loss of his mother, and, you know, that's something I don't need to be involved in. Excuse me, I'll be involved in playing with him on it, but, you know, it's
too personal for you, for him.
Yeah, I knew her, but she wasn't my mother.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
And it was, so, you know, he needed to go do his thing, and I've heard Prayer for the Lonely recently with his new band, and it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is what I thought it needed to sound like from the get-go.
And it was actually the last Departed single release, which has been quite a while. Let's go ahead and play it.
Cool.
We'll do it right now.
Here's to Seth.
It's Cody Canada, The Departed, Seth James on lead vocals, Prayer for the Lonely on Radio Texas Live. Cody, you and your band, you guys have been in the studio the last, it's actually like right now, you're actually in the middle.
Yeah, we're kind of taking some breaks. I'm doing a few acoustic shows, and we got a couple of band shows, and then right back to it.
What are we looking for in a new The Departed album?
You know, I got to looking at everything, like the notes of everything and the subject matters of all the tunes. I never really pay attention to the subject matter. I always pay attention to the tempos, you know, and write the notes down. And like, this one's medium, this one's fast, this one's pretty fast, and this one's slow. You know, don't put too many slow ones on there. But I got to looking at the subject matter, and it's like hippie love punk.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know, you know, it's different things, you know, there's always love songs.
Right.
I talked to my old friend Mike McClure the other day, and he said, let me guess, it's the world's going to hell, you love your wife, and don't back me in a quarter. So pretty much.
He knows you well, yeah.
Yes,
that's pretty much, that encompasses your music right there.
That's pretty much it.
That's it right there. Cody, you've got a brand new album in the works. You've been working on it in the studio this past week, and you guys did something really cool. You wrote a song for the Braun brothers, and you actually got them to sing with you on the new song?
Yeah, I wrote this tune for the Braun family, Mickey and the Motor Cars and Reckless.
Yeah.
Their dad, Muzzy. And Muzzy was in town from Idaho, and I said, since you're here, the very last verse of this song's about your house, about the feeling of being at your house up in the mountains. And I said, would you sing on it? Sing on the record? And he said, yeah. So then we really got to thinking about it and piecing together, you know, let's see, can we get all the brothers?
That's why it took so long.
Yeah,
you guys
no
keep
kidding.
adding to it.
Well, you know, there wasn't a drop of alcohol in the house, and then they showed up.
So you got the entire Braun family
all in there, yeah.
Yeah,
and it's pretty stripped down. You know, it's guitar, bass, drums, and then piano, and then the lead is Cody on fiddle.
Nice.
And I wanted it to feel like we were sitting in that room in their house. They have this little dance hall bar thing with a tiny little stage, and we played music from 9 at night to 6:30 in the morning. And it was just, I wanted to recreate that sound, you know, and I think we did an all right job. But it was cool to have all of them singing, and it was accidentally in order from the youngest to the oldest.
Oh, nice, perfect.
That was an accident. I was trying to put them match the verse up with the right brother. And it was the first time they'd been in the studio together since they were like 10.
Really? That's awesome. Cody, we were just talking about your new album, looking around in October release around there. Ish.
Yeah.
Like it could be 2015 by any. No. It'll be out before the end of the year.
Every 18 months at least.
All right, good.
At the most.
All right, good. Good. You want to sing something for us off of it? Give us a little taste of it?
Yeah. I went out with, saying a lot of names. I went out with my friend Jason Bolin, who I've known for 20 years. And we were in California, and I told him that we were talking about how shows are going, this and that, and how people were responding to new shows, new songs. And he asked, how do people take the new songs? I said, man, you know, it's like the old songs. You know, when they sing back to you the songs about your family and your kids and your wife and your friends, and it makes you feel like you're just closer to home. And it was that moment again. It's the second time he's done that to me in my life.
What was the first time?
17.
17?
Yeah.
Very nice.
We almost got pulled over. Well, we didn't almost get pulled over by the cops. I just got paranoid. in Yukon, Oklahoma, where I grew up, and he told me that you're always 17 when you're in your hometown. Let's shorten it up a little.
Shorten up just a little bit. Made it a little more catchy.
Yeah.
All right, you want to sing to the, what's it called? Back
Closer is what we're calling it right now, because I figured if we called it Closer, then you'd have to sift through a billion songs to get it registered. So Back Closer is where it's sitting right now.
You want to do another one for us?
Yeah.
Sing another one live for us from the new album, something brand new.
Yeah, this is one. It's called "Coming to Me."
It sounded like you said it again. Coming to me.
Coming to me. It's about well, honestly, there was this dude that I knew once upon a time that said, "Don't ever make me mad because I'd write a song about you."
Uh-huh.
And man, he really did it. And so I've been sitting on the song for a while, and it's been done. I've been sitting on it for 4 or 5 years, and it just finally raised its head. It's time to do it, and it's been a real fun one to do live with Steve Littleton on the pianos. I don't know. It reminds me of the way we're approaching it. It reminds me of the old Neil Young stuff. He's wailing on the piano, and I'm doing the grungy, nasty
That's
guitar.
awesome, man. That's cool.
It's fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, piano fits into anything.
I think it does too.
I don't think bands utilize it enough.
There was a guy the other day on the old Facebook, the old social media. The other day, he said he didn't think that piano belonged in rock and roll.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So there were several people that responded with Garth Hudson and Jerry Lee Lewis and
Billy Joel,
Billy Powell.
Yeah.
And just. And then people start dropping band names. And so he didn't say.
And then he deleted his comment.
He didn't say anything.
And he never heard from him again.
Yeah, I think he might have been like a White Snake fan or something.
All right, here we go. Check it out. It's called "Coming to Me." Cody Canada live on Radio Texas Live. Cody, pal of yours. I think a newer pal of yours. BJ Barham of American Aquarium stopped by here not too long ago. Great guys. Those guys are some cool dudes.
They're awesome guys.
And their music it's just so raw and honest, I think, is what the most attracting thing about it is.
That's what attracted me to it.
Yeah.
As it was, for one thing, it was heartfelt, and you could tell that BJ talks about it, there was a girl and
oh yeah.
Boy, she made some songs. She caused a bunch of good songs.
Everyone needs one of them in their life.
Yeah. There's been several people that I've known that have that one girl that just, broke their heart.
Launched their career.
And they had 3 or 4 albums
nice
from it. Because, you get a little anger in you. You can write several tunes.
I bet. I wish I had an outlet like that. Like I could get angry and write a song.
It sure keeps you out of jail.
I bet. But you guys did this cool little, like a 30-day tour, like 30 days, 30 concerts all over the West and the Midwest and, I don't know, Idaho, all the way up into Northwest. Yeah. And something that BJ said, because he and I spoke, they're from North Carolina, so they're not from here. They didn't grow up in the Texas red dirt scene. And what he and I spoke about was how he didn't really know Cross Canadian Ragweed for the last 12, 14 years. He didn't know who Cody Canada was and the kind of if there was a Mount Rushmore of red dirt and Texas music, there's a pretty good chance you'd probably be up there on it. And he thought it was cool because he knows you as just Cody Canada, a good friend, and he learned along the way about Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Yeah, we talked about that one night, and he was apologizing. I said, "You don't have to apologize for anything ever."
He was apologizing.
Yeah, he said, "Sorry, I didn't know any of the old songs." And so it ain't no worries, man. They're all songs.
That's funny. Talking about American Aquarium earlier, and how close you guys really became. What do you think about it? Is it that made you guys mesh so well so quickly?
For one thing, they remind me of so many friends that I've had in this business. But they get in a van and. North Carolina, and they gas it, and they head to Colorado, and then they go all the way to basically Canada and the tip of Washington, and that's really the furthest they could be away from home in the United States.
Yeah,
and then they turn around and they gig back. It's dedication, you know. I mean, they really love music and they want to spread it, and we talk about it all the time in our outfit about how they're getting ready to be the next one.
Very nice. I'd be cool with that.
Me too.
I would definitely be cool with that.
We need that. There's always those bands that are true and those people that talk about the things that a lot of people are afraid to talk about, and, the vindictive love songs.
Right.
And that needs to be done. There's humor and beer drinking and trucks and all that, and it's we're hopefully almost to the end of that, and we need to get back to the heartfelt heartache.
Yeah, the real stuff. Real
reality.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we got to get back to.
All right, well, let's play some American Aquarium. It's a huge hit. Well, I don't even know it was really a huge hit. It should have been a much bigger hit than it was, but I Hope He Breaks Your Heart is a song that I've gotten a lot of calls about from American Aquarium.
That's their one. I asked him, I said, what's the song?
It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So, Cody, about 2 weeks ago, we picked up our newest affiliate, KIKN in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And somebody called the very first night, and they were kind of, wondering what the music was. She was intrigued by it. And she was like, so what's like one song that would kind of, let me understand what it is? And we kind of got together here. We had a few suggestions. I think Pat Green's Southbound 35 kind of went to the top of the list. But we settled on playing for her to let her know what red dirt and Texas music is Cross Canadian Ragweed 17.
Awesome.
And it really is. I mean, that's exactly what that song is. I mean, I think almost anybody who's close to my age thinks that.
Man, that song really did good for us. I know it was our first single and everything, but I'm glad it worked. I wasn't really trying to do anything. I wasn't trying to write a tune that was going to be catchy, or I was just talking about, what I went through,
And what makes it so relatable is it's what everybody goes through.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody goes through.
I really did learn that. As the song started getting out there more, I learned that people were relating to it, and I moved away from Yukon, Oklahoma, and I came back, and I actually did get pulled over by the cops, and I wasn't doing anything wrong at the time.
Right.
I mean, I still got a ticket, but I wasn't highly illegal or anything, and they were still down on me. And, and I do miss that town. My dad still lives there, and I have some friends that live there, but Ray Benson did a show there, and he said my name over the mic, and he said he got booed.
Really?
Yeah. And I wish it wasn't that way,
No.
but, it wasn't anything personal.
How big is Yukon?
When I was growing up, it's about 25,000. I think it's probably 60 now.
Yeah.
It's a interstate town, and I don't know. I hope people don't hate me out there because I love them. I love them all.
Right. All right, well, let's play it. It's Cody Canada, 17 on Radio Texas Live. Cody, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Real quick, last time you were here, I asked you who's the next breakout star in the red dirt scene, and you told me Jason Eady. And I have been all about Jason Eady since then. He's awesome. You've heard his new album, Daylight and Dark?
Oh, yeah, I'm a huge Eady fan.
It's awesome, right? It's great.
It's country.
Dude, it's so simple and powerful and just good country music.
That's the thing about him is he's a songsmith. He doesn't just write something and move on. He'll write it and then think about it, look at it and study it, fix what needs to be fixed, and he's great.
The new album's awesome. If he was actually here a couple weeks ago, played probably 3 or 4 songs off of it. If I asked you now, you can't say Jason Eady and you can't say American Aquarium. Who do you think is the next breakout star in the red dirt scene? Band, musician? No Jason Eady, no American Aquarium. Those guys are off the board.
They're already doing it.
Yeah.
There's a guy out of Tulsa, Oklahoma named John Moreland.
John Moreland.
Yeah.
Right.
And here's the funny part is I'm an Okie, and I never heard of this guy until we went on the road with American Aquarium. They said, we can't believe you haven't heard of this guy.
The American Aquarium told you about him.
About this Tulsa
Okay.
dude. And he's like Chris Stapleton, he's got that huge giant voice and just an awesome songwriter. And in my opinion, he's the one.
Have you by chance heard of Sturgill Simpson yet?
I've heard of him through a friend of mine up in Kentucky. He told me about him.
I had a buddy that I was in the Army with in Arkansas that actually told me about him. And have you listened to anything he's done?
I've listened to, we have an Americana station back home, and I've listened to one song.
It's like he's kind of got a wailing sound,
Oh, yeah.
but it's like a funkadelic wailing.
Yeah.
He's another guy that I want people to know about. Sturgill Simpson.
My friend told me that he was in a band before, and then now he's like solo.
Doing his own thing?
Yeah, I don't really know.
I don't know much about him either.
The details, but I know he's good.
Yeah, he's awesome. Sturgill Simpson, and you said John Moreland.
John Moreland, yeah.
All right, cool. Let's close it out with you pick whatever song you want to play. What song do you want to hear?
Whatever song I want to play.
Any song. It doesn't have to be yours. I mean, it can be if you feel like whatever you want to hear.
I'm not going to do that. I had a really good moment one night at my sister's house dancing in the dirt with my wife to Gin and Smoking Lies.
All right, cool. Turnpike Troubadours?
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Cody Canada, thank you very much,
Thank
man.
you.
Well, in the early autumn, when a lonely dove is flying, morning pours one true love. It can't be blamed for crying. You can't be blamed for crying.
There you go. Cody Canada picked Gin Smoke Lies from the Turnpike Troubadours to close out his appearance on Radio Texas Live in 2014. And how cool is that? And how funny are we talking about Sturgill Simpson? It's almost a footnote in this interview, and neither of us knew much. Of course, we both do now. The world knows who Sturgill Simpson is. I could talk with Cody all day. Great voice on every level. I'm Buddy Logan, and thanks for listening. As always, you can enjoy archive interviews of Radio Texas Live legends with Cody Jinks, Whiskey Myers, Aaron Watson, Casey Musgraves, and more, and you can find them wherever you found this episode. What's remarkable to me about this interview is how spot on Cody was in naming the next generation of great artists. He's aligned himself with what I'll call the next Radio Texas Live legends like American Aquarium, who are from North Carolina but do well nationwide. You know, if this whole singing and touring thing doesn't work out for Cody, he could probably run a successful record label, all right? Episode 7 of this on-demand show, written and produced by Billy Dukes with help from my friends at Taste the Country and The Boot, including Amanda Hensel and Angela Stefano. You can listen to Radio Texas Live 24/7 on our life-changing mobile app and hear me on 16 great radio stations every week, spinning the best in Texas and Red Dirt. Follow this show on Apple or Spotify and give us a rating or review where possible. Episode 8, the last episode of Season 1, focuses on another great Texas artist. Perhaps the hottest one right now. Want to guess? That's right, Coetzel. That's next week during the exciting Season 1 finale of Radio Texas Live Legends.